Where do you get your meat that you eat? You know, this is it can be touchy for some people, I found out. Especially when they find out that I really don't like to get my meat from Walmart or Aldi's. Actually, I had a really, really nice conversation with my occupational therapist about where, like, you get your meat, how you cook it, that type of thing. She was saying that they've been getting lamb lately, and they get it made into gyro meat, or they have it mixed with pork and turned into bratwurst. I have not had lamb in years because growing up it was always made extremely dry and slathered in mint sauce. So that's just a big no for me. But I was like, I would be willing to try some of these lamb bratwurst. So I think I'm going to see if I can find any at our local meat shops because that sounds delicious. But we were talking about how sad the meat at the store is in general. Because I said, yeah, I used to always get my meat at Aldi. I've never really gotten it at Walmart. But I told her that, yeah, I stopped buying the breakfast sausage there. She goes, was yours getting really gristly? And I said, yes. I said, I don't know what the deal is, but like the sausage links were just full of gristle. You take a bite and it would be like 75% gristle and nothing, like no meat in there. And that was just gross. So we had a nice conversation about it, and we were sharing like which shops we go to get our meat at, everything. She lives a little further south, so her places are further south from here. But it got me thinking that, one of my friends was sharing in her group today, it was like $6 or $7 a dozen for eggs. And I don't know what my local cost is because I haven't picked up eggs since I think it was a Saturday before New Year's, so whatever that last Saturday in December was. And I got 6 dozen eggs, and they were, I think it was $3.99. But I get 10 cents off a dozen because I always get 6 or more. Elbow's still a little bit sore. But, last summer we really started getting more local meat. We went to the meat shop. It's like maybe 10 minutes away, and their hamburgers and hot dogs, what was it, and bratwurst, right? No, burgers, brats, and hot dogs. You would get a dozen of each in this package, and amazing. So I started getting a breakfast sausage there, and there's barely any seasonings used on this meat, and it just tastes so clean. For ground beef, I usually get that from my cousin because she raises a beef cattle. I have had a supplement with other ground beef, so I ended up getting 2 of those 5-ish pound packs of ground beef from Aldi's last year, separated out into single pound packs. And I mixed that. I do a pound of that and a pound of venison because I still have some ground venison left over that I got from my cousin. And you can tell the difference when you mix it with the venison. So there is a big difference. But what I really noticed the last couple weeks, we've been making a lot of pot roasts on Sundays. These pot roasts have so much water coming out of them. It is ridiculous. You have this nice big, like 15-pound pot roast that you're putting in to your crock pot, your slow cooker, whatever you're using. You're expecting to get a decent sized roast out once it's done. But it comes out and it's like, where did all of my meat go? It shriveled up because it was just so injected to make it look bigger, actually weigh a little bit more. So it's like, well, I'm done. I'm not buying my meat at the store anymore. Although saying that, we are having a sale at our local grocer for pork butts, and I've got a hankering for pulled pork. So that sale starts this weekend, and I will be going to pick up. Was it $1.99 or 99 cents a pound? I can't remember what it was. It was a really good deal. So I'm like, well, I'm going to pick up like 2 pork butts and we're going to freeze those so we can have pulled pork later on this year. But yeah, it's just, it's sad. And I know a lot of people freak out when they look at prices of farm raised meat, like small farm raised meat. Yeah, it's expensive, but we're so used to paying cheap prices for cheap food that when you actually get the quality food and you see the cost, you're gonna have sticker shock. But you know what? It's worth it in the end. So I mean, I gotta get down to our meat store and need to get some more breakfast sausages because we are all out of links and patties, and I've got a hankering for some breakfast sandwiches. So yeah, I want the good stuff for those, not the. Yes, I can make patties out of the 2-pound tubes of Johnsonville that I have in my freezer, but I use that for biscuits and gravy because why not? But yeah, what about you? Are you a store meat buyer? Like, do you go to your local grocer? Do you have your own animals? Because I don't do that. So I support local farmers and I buy meat from them because it's better and the money's staying local and you can actually make friends with your farmers. You can meet the meat that you're going to eat later. Like, I always ask my cousin, hey, what's the name of the cow that you slaughtered this year? Or that is supplying me with this lovely ground, and she always tells me. So when we have our beef right now, I can say, hey, you guys liking your Griffin Joes? Aren't they good? They taste delicious. So have a good one, guys. We'll talk next week.